Brittany Renner explains why she isn't Muslim or Christian anymore. We all seen this coming. Welcome to No Cap No Filter. I'm your host Molly G. Back at y'all another episode of Running with You. And today we got to run about Brittany Renner. Um, I guess she was streaming. She's a streamer now, and I guess she's explaining to her chat why she isn't Muslim or Christian anymore. I've been seeing this video floating around. I haven't seen it at all, so we're gonna react to it together, man. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Are you still Muslim, or was that a phase? No, I'm not on practice anymore. And this was my way of thinking too. I posted a video like a year ago where I said I had to wear cornrows to fit in a hijab, and I'm no longer interested in shrinking myself. And my logic was that was me explaining, okay, like I'm not doing this anymore. But granted, there are a lot of Muslims that do not wear a hijab. Like, I don't know. Now, when you go to the mosque, people are going to be, from my experience, they're going to definitely be in hijabs. But I guess that's just where, too, there were some things I'm just like, I don't feel like explaining myself all the way. Because I had a lot of different experiences when I was Muslim that, to me, I was like, I don't know, this is for me. I think I was Muslim for like 10 months, married for 52 days. Came out of my hijab that last summer. I actually got baptized in March. But saying that to say, like, I felt really interested in, like, I think his name is Pastor Mike Todd. I was listening to a lot of Christian music, watching a sermon on a Sunday. I was going into the church. I got baptized. Where did I get baptized at? I got baptized when I was in Atlanta. She had set everything up for me to get baptized. And that's why I felt at the time, because I was like, how am I going to be so outwardly Muslim and then be watching sermons, listening to Christian music, going to church, and not just go get baptized? You
All right, man. It's a lot to unpack right here, but everything that's going on with Brittany Renner, a lot of people told her is gonna, come back on her. Basically, it's like we all seen how she was acting in her early 20s when she was like the quote unquote it girl. It probably wasn't even her early 20s because she wasn't famous that long. It probably was her mid 20s. And now I think she's in her early 30s right now. If I'm not mistaken, she's probably 32 or 33. Somebody could fact check that in the comment section. But a lot of people was telling her, this gonna come back on her and bite her in the ass. And it wasn't even just the Muslim thing. It wasn't just the Christian thing. Well, I ain't gonna say the Christian. It wasn't just the Muslim thing because everybody felt like that was so performative because you only did it for a man to please him with Kevin Gates. And a lot of people were saying, don't be playing with nobody religion if it's not something you actually genuinely want to do. So it wasn't even just that. It was just the way she was carrying herself. She was just carrying herself in a way where she was just being over sexualizing herself, thinking you just having fun and all this and all that, and it's just going to be a man at the end of that tunnel that's just going to accept you for all your flaws in your digital footprint. And that's a thing a lot of these females don't be understanding. Men, we don't want a girl that's just been all over and with this one, that one, and this one, especially if it's broadcasted. Like, it's one thing to hear about it, it's one thing to get word of it, but when it's broadcasted and everybody else could see, that's a different animal. Now when she did get with Kevin Gates and she tried to practice the Muslim thing, a lot of people were feeling like that shit was so fake, it was so performative, because you literally only doing this because this man wanted to make you do this. If he was a Muslim and he was practicing something else, you would have did that something else. So that go to show me you ain't really doing this because you want to do it. You're doing this strictly because the man you trying to run behind doing it. And when it comes to religion, I always felt like this. If you're not going to be 100% 10 toes down with it, you shouldn't even jump in it in the first place. Now, it's one thing to be born in it and you just kind of conflicted. It's like, damn, my parents making me do this, but that's not really me. I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's different because that's something you were literally born in. But when it's something that you're not born in, that's not your culture, that's not your religion, and you just try to jump into this organization, and that's not even just with religion, that's with uh, any type of organization you jump in. If you're not about to be 100% down and committed with all the rules and regulations and guidelines that's for that, I don't believe you should get into it. Now, let's just say you do like, certain beliefs and certain practices of Muslim, then yes, you can adopt that to your lifestyle to have structure in your lifestyle. You can do that. But to jump into it and not be 100% all the way down with it is crazy. And a lot of people these days, they getting into religions and they remixing it, feeling like, oh, well, I'm Muslim, but I still eat this. I still listen to this. I still, indulge in this. You can't do that. You can't remix things. And, if you're not about to be 100% down with all the rules and the guidelines of it, don't be a part of it. Just adopt the things that you think will make your life better in a positive way. you know and then people be doing these things and still being a terrible person at the end of the day, which is crazy to me. Or do a whole bunch of contradicting things at the same time. Excuse me, y'all. But yeah, man, I can't stand when people get into something and then they remix it, as if you could take on this religion, but feel like, oh well, this part and this part and this part, I'm not about to adhere to the rules for that. Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Don't commit to nothing if you're not about to be 100% with it. Just adopt some of the practices with it. You going through all this to play in these people's face, to be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Now, one thing I do give her, I commend her from, just stepping away from it. Like, once she realized it's not her, she stepped away from it instead of just, keeping on the act. Like, that's even worse. But, once she realized she stepped away from it, it's time to just move on.
So I did get baptized, but I just, at this point in stage, like where I'm at right now, I don't really follow any religion. I just don't, like, none of it really calls to me like that. And I think a big part of what people don't understand is when I was Muslim, that I really needed that structure when I was rebuilding my life. I needed that protection. And even with wearing a hijab, I felt like it cloaked me. Like, I felt almost invisible. Like, when I would wear a hijab in public, it's like, I was like, am I Casper? Can anybody see me here? Hello? So I just felt like being wrapped up, and also knowing that there is so much more to me than my body. But the body's, you know what I'm saying? The hair, all these things that make me me. It's just not like solely relying on that anymore, but just knowing that like I can outwardly be myself and I don't have to shame myself for having a fat ass, for wanting to wear my hair out. And yeah, so I just feel like there were things, and whether it was Christianity or being Muslim, like that to me just don't really resonate. I'm like, where's the middle? And the middle is like right where I'm at. It's like, of course I believe in God, but to say that I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim or this, no.
Okay, now, first of all, let's talk about the hijab when she was wearing a cloak. When she was wearing a hijab and it felt like a cloak to her. That's another reason why men say we don't want our woman going out a certain way, because the way you present yourself is the way you will be treated. If you're wearing a police officer uniform, if somebody is in dire need of help, they're going to come to you, whether you're an actual police or not, because the way you're presenting yourself. If you're out and you got your ass out with shorts and they're very, very high, you got your cleavage showing, men are going to approach you more often than not. Should a man just come up to you and touch you, No, but they're going to approach you, and it's more likely that can happen than when you wear a hijab. So she basically proven the a lot of men's point when men's are talking about they don't want their woman out a certain way, you know, because it's a certain level of respect people going to give people who's wearing hijabs or women that are covering most of their bodies. You know, it's a reason why a lot of these religions, you know, put certain stuff in place when it comes to the woman. Also, she was like, Christian don't even really give her a calling either. And I think that when it comes to religion, there's so many different religions out there, and every religion feel like that's the religion that is the true religion, you know. But I just really feel like deep down inside, as long as you're a good person, you know, on this earth, and you do right by people, you take care of your responsibilities, you don't, you know, be out here messing over people, doing nasty things, you know, to people and all this and all that. As long as you're a good person, I feel like that's that's good enough. Now, if you feel like you do need structure in your life, some people they move at a slower pace. She felt like she needed structure in her life at around in her early 30s. So some people they probably, you know, need that type of structure in their life even later on in life. But I feel like for the most part, you should be mature enough to not need to run to a religion to find structure. And a lot of people call that the horror pipeline. You know, you having fun and you whoring around, and then you know once you hit your 30s, now you ain't got no man, you're not married. Now you just gotta say, oh well, what can I do now? I gotta go find religion, run a religion. You know, that's like that's like the final phase. You know, until they while they out finding themselves. You know, but yeah, man, I think all that was bullshit because now she's a streamer and she want to do work with AB and Adrian Bronner. I mean, Adrian Bronner and Dana Great, I heard. You know, so it's all these clips going around of these dudes disrespecting women, all these clips of Adrian Bronner literally, you know, all in women face, disrespecting their boundaries, you know, trying to have sex with them and whatnot, making them uncomfortable, and you still want to go on stream with them. Like that's crazy to me, you know. But you was just a Muslim though. Like that's why I say certain stuff be so hypocritical and so bullshit, bro. It's so bullshit. But I want to know what y'all think. You know, how do y'all feel about what she's saying? You give her a lot of respect for, you know, just stepping away and just, you know, realizing no religion is for her? Or do you feel like, man, she should have never did it in the first place? Like if it's something, if it ain't nothing she genuinely wanted to do and was going to be 100% down with it, she should never did it. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, what you're waiting on. Until next time, I'm out.